Greetings, my Israelite brothers and sisters, heirs, joint heirs, adopted, grafted, natural, spiritual. I hope that this message finds you all well and whatever you're doing. It's sunny South Florida. It is 91 degrees here. That's a lot. And then it's hot. Very, very hot. But it's all good. It's all good. I titled this Psalms 91. That's what I called it, Psalms 91. I told you that we're going to be doing a lot of car cams leading up to Friday night's lesson, which is the wilderness. And I titled this Psalms 91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. Is it a secret place? Is it a secret? Yeah. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Is it a secret place? Yes, it's a secret place. It's still a secret today. I guarantee you I can teach this lesson and people, it will still be a secret. Only those that are open up to understanding the scriptures will see it. It's just that simple. That scripture says, I will say unto the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver me. He will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shall thy trust. His truth shall be thy shield, and it shall be thy buckler. It's going to be a lot. Psalms 91. How you doing, Daniel? Long time no hear. Long time no see. I don't know if you're still in, I think Homestead, was it? Homestead, Florida, I'm not for sure. But he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. We're going to be talking about this on Friday night. We're going to be talking about Psalms 91, Revelations 11, Revelations 12, Revelations 13. Those books that people over in the book of Revelations, a lot of people don't want to read about. And I will definitely say it, especially a lot of Hebrews, those that come into the knowledge of the truth of the faith, natural and spiritual. Israel have no idea understanding what the Revelation is really talking about, because we don't jump in it much. For some reason, we don't jump in it. And we're going to be jumping over there on Friday night. We're going to have a good time with that. And we're gonna do some reading. We're going to do some reading. Something we don't do. I'm not going to give you my opinion. It's not what I say. It's all going to be about what we read. How you doing, Brother Ricky Sansbury? Ricky, where you been at, man? I hope everything is well with you. Glad to see Ricky in the chat room over there. Oh, by the way, want to say thank you all. We have well over 2,500 subscribers now. So I want to say thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for letting others know about this channel and asking them to subscribe. I do not take 2,500 subscribers lightly. Ricky says, I watch all the time in silence. I was watching Friday night. Yeah, Friday night was very unique. It was very unique on Friday. Very unique. That's about the best way I can put it. But our intentions was to start off on a That's one thing good about Friday night Bible study. It just unfolds, it blossoms, and you just, sometimes I find myself going with the flow. So, but this Friday night, because so many within the congregation and people outside have been asking me about the wilderness, and you notice that I would say, I want to teach on it. I'm not ready yet. I want to teach on it. Let me tell you why I was not ready. Although I understand it, understanding something and being able to teach it that others, or that you can explain it to others, and to deal with every possible question that may come up with this subject, that's what it is. That's why I never taught the subject, because I was not comfortable with the questions that may pop up. So you can understand it, and you answer those questions. Can you stand there as a person that knows the subject and teach the subject? And it's two different things. You got knowledge and understanding, but to me, wisdom is being able to explain to others so that they can be knowledgeable and understand what you're teaching. And it takes wisdom to do that. And so wisdom, you can have wisdom in different things. You can have overall wisdom. You can have wisdom in certain subjects. When it came to the wilderness, I had no wisdom. I had some knowledge and some understanding, but more I looked at it, I was very comfortable. In the past 2 weeks, I have put in literally, I would say 24 hours, maybe 30 hours. By the time it's taught this week, I would have put in what I require, and that's over 32 hours of, and that's a college course. Anytime you do a college course, it's 32 hours of college in class teaching. So I've had over about 30. I think, well, yeah, today was 30. And I even, just during the day. Today is Wednesday. So by Friday, I would have had probably, about 35 hours, more than what I would normally put in, because I think it's that important of a subject. Here's some of the questions that's going to come up when you teach this wilderness. And here's some of the questions that it's going to answer. It's going to let us know where we are in biblical time. Where are we right now? So it's going to address that, because a lot of people don't know where we are right now. And it's going to also answer questions that's related to 666, the rapture, the mark of the beast. This wilderness subject, it addresses all of that. There's so much stuff in there that you can address that is going to come up out of this lesson dealing with the wilderness. So that's going to be important. I give you an example, and I remember, I don't know if some of you all, what age you were during the time that Ronald Reagan was the president of the United States. And a lot of people don't, if you do remember him as president, I don't know if you remember him being shot. He received a gunshot wound to the upper torso area and what have you. Well, at that time, the internet social media was not like it is today, but you had a lot of websites that you can get social material off of. Well, I say that to say this. Back then, a lot of people thought President Ronald Reagan was the beast that you read about in Revelations. And it just, if you was to ask people back in that time, and I think that was in the 80s, I would like to say, that he was in the 80s. thereabout. That's when he started, was in the 80s. And I think he was the president for 8 years. And then you had the Bushes and stuff like that. So let me tell you why I bring that up. Because his name was Ronald, middle name Wilson, last name Reagan. Well, someone out there, they said, you get your email. Yes, Kelly, my email address is Bethel, Bethel, House of God at gmail.com. Bethel, House of God at gmail.com. That's the name of our congregation here in South Florida. It's Bethel House of God at gmail.com. Also, our 800 number is 1-833, the number 4, and the word Bethel, Bethel. You can also dial that and make contact. So those I give to you. 1-833, the number 4, and the word Bethel. And I want to thank all of you all that are supporting us on Patreon, because that's how we're able to have the Zoom format and the 800 number. So back to Ronald Wilson Reagan. His name was Ronald Wilson Reagan. Ronald is 6 letters. Wilson is 6 letters. And Reagan is 6 letters. So they put him on 666. And the scripture says, well, the beast was wounded. Everybody thought that was Ronald Wilson Reagan. You know, the America, the Babylon, the Great, and all like that. Babylon is falling, all of that. So you can imagine all of that was just it. And people, let me tell you, you have no idea how that thing was rolling out back then. And I remember, because I did not read the scriptures like I should, you tend to go with whatever social media says. And so there was websites, oh, he's the mark of the beast, he was wounded. And then at the time, the Pope at that time was also shot and wounded. And they was taking the word Pope and his name, and it also came up with 666. So they said, you see, he was wounded, and that, all of that in the mid 80s, late 80s, moving into the 1990s. I was in my young adult age at that time. And then all of a sudden, Y2K came. And Y2K was supposed to be, it was supposed to be the doomsday, apocalypse, or that's what that was supposed to be. And cars were supposed to stop running. Your watches on your arm was supposed to stop working. Anything that kept a calendar was supposed to stop working. Gas pumps, your electric was going to go off. Let me see what else. ATMs would no longer work. Your home computers, your laptops, your work computers, it was just going to be total chaos when the clock rolled around. Excuse me. And that, with following the beast had been wounded, you know, which was supposed to have been Ronald Wilson Reagan. And if you ever read the scriptures, you would have said nonsense to that. That's nonsense. It's not going to happen. So that's the best I can tell you. So you see the same thing rolling out today. The same thing rolls out today. And I know people are not going to appreciate it and like me for it, but you know, I just have to say it, you know. there was the 1619 to 2019. It's been 400 years. Although, like I said before, I believe prophecy has a dual meaning. Not that it has any significant value, but Genesis the 15th was the children of Israel in Egypt. That's what it was. It's nothing else. But today, you know, you have they're marking the anniversary. And it's okay. But that it's you can find a lot of things that has some similitudes or similarities in it, because Israel is a microcosm of the world. But I will tell you, there is nothing biblically that's going to abruptly happen as a result of the 1619-2019 theory. How do you know, Pastor Johnson? Because I read the scriptures. And that's why this lesson on the wilderness has to roll out. I just said, you know what? I got to roll this lesson out. I got to roll it out. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll this lesson out on Friday night. And you will see that the next big thing that's going to happen is the abomination of the desolation standing in the holy place, operating from the holy city as if they are God. They do that now, and we know what Romish Christianity does. They operate as if it's God, making decisions, changing the laws. As Daniel says, they would think to change the laws, the times and seasons. That's what's been happening, but not from Jerusalem. And we're going to see that happen. So 2 years ago, there was the ecumenical movement, and that ecumenical movement is where the Pope is leading a movement along with several renowned people of faith coming from the Romish Christian Society, the Muslim Society, as well as the Jewish Society, to say, let's break down the barriers or walls that have separated us. That is the presentation of it. Let's break down the walls. And see, when you read Revelations, it talks about how the abomination will start to use flatteries and will draw people in, even those with Daniel says, even those with understanding, this abomination of the desolation is going to be able to convince people. So that's the next big thing happening. You know, I guarantee you January is going to roll around, and we're going to go to 2020, and the 400-year hype is going to be over with. And I can tell, I'm not a prophet. I'm just going to tell you, according to the scriptures, nothing big is going to happen. August is over. We're in the month of September. October is around the corner. We're going to go into the Feast of Trumpets. I can tell you nothing is going to happen. I'm not saying there's not a dual connection. I'm simply telling you that nothing is going to happen. And it's not because I'm a prophet. I'm not a prophet. I'm a teacher. But if you know the Bible, if you know the scriptures, if you know Torah, if you know the prophets, you know nothing is going to happen. And if people don't understand that, I should not upset you. You should say, well, we have to wait and see. But I can tell you, you can wait till the cows come home, and you're going to be waiting, because according to the scriptures, nothing is going to happen. Nothing at all. When the children of Israel, when their 400 years was up in Egypt, on the other hand, they left. And they left out with a high hand, and they got spoiled, and something big happened. But in this 400-year anniversary, there's nothing big going to happen. If you want to, you can go to Africa. Ghana will accept you. Nigeria will accept you. But I can tell you, you don't have a lot of Hebrews and people, period, standing in line to change their passport and run over to Ghana. You just don't. September's going to roll around. October's going to roll around. November's going to roll around. And you can take that to the bank. Nothing significant is going to happen. Even if, I think Nigeria is telling people, come home, we'll give you dual citizenship. If y'all think that these people in America that's here who don't like America is going to pack up and leave, they're not going to do it. Now, I can tell you right now, if my family said, yeah, let's go do it, because of the way that the American dollar is, I would do it in a heartbeat. But it's not because of something biblical, something prophetic. It's just what I would do. Because I know people that actually come back and forth. I actually know someone that goes back and forth to Nigeria. Somebody says a 400-year return is about money and tourism. Yeah, well, you know, the last normal human prophet was, I don't know who that is. But let me just say, that's why I want to get into this lesson on Friday night. When we get into this lesson on Friday night, that is the next big thing happening in the prophetic world. And it's important that you understand it, because there's going to be a lot rolling out. When I tell you there's going to be a lot rolling out, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. But a lot of questions are going to be answered. The mark of the beast is going to be answered. Because like I said, I remember when Ronald Wilson was supposed to be the mark of the beast. And the Pope, because they both were wounded. They was shot and they survived. And they said, you see, the mark of the beast was wounded. Because people, I have seen so many eclipses where the moon, there was what they call a blue moon. I mean a red moon. And there was one about 5 years ago, there was a red moon on the feast day. And people were like, you see, it's getting ready to go down. Ain't nothing going down. When you see that temple being built in Jerusalem and the abomination of the desolation operating out of there, trust me, this lesson is going to tell you what you need to do. You better drop everything you got and you better get to that wilderness. Because what's going to unfold is going to be like it is never, like you have never seen this before. Revelations 11, Revelations 12, Revelations 13. Read it. Read Psalms 91. Read, we're going to get a little bit over into Ezekiel. Read Daniel, the 7th chapter, 11th chapter, and 12th chapter. You want to do some pre-reading? And I say read them all 7 times. Read them all 7 times. We're going to get into some good stuff on Friday night. Peace, shalom. All of you all, in Jesus' name, we'll talk soon.